views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Natural Peace Radio, emotionally activated, magically created. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Sarah van Rijsewijk helps people manifest their desires and activate their energetic spark. This hit show focuses on different themes each month, with listeners learning to understand their creation process and the profound power of their emotions. Call into a show to talk with Sarah, 800-930-2819. Natural Peace Radio. Your happiness is your choice.
Hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Pat, and I get to join Sarah, and we team up today to bring you a conversation about love, the choice to love. Sarah, thank you. It's great to have you here. What a great show. What a great platform. Before we jump into this, because it is really true, we are opening up the phone lines right out of the gate. Because not only are you a phenomenal radio host and, just somebody out in the world that's helping so many other people achieve that place of natural peace, whether it's life coaching or tarot readings, whatever that is. Today, during the show, we are going to open up the phone lines throughout the show. Welcome to the show, and let's tell folks what you're going to be doing for everybody today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Pat. I hope everybody is having a good start to the week. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about, it's February, right? So February brings in Valentine's Day and love and all those wonderful emotions. So today we're going to spend some time talking about love and talking about unconditional love and self-love and love for each other, and kind of a different spin on what everybody thinks of the hallmark kind of love, if you will. But and then I'll be taking calls today for anybody who's interested in having a card pulled for them. I use tarot as a medium in my coaching, and my clients have been happy ever since day one when the cards were pulled out. It's just a great way to put some insight into coaching, into whatever it is that's going on with my clients and with you guys today. So.
Well, yeah. And so what I think that's important is to, for all of you out there, do you have a question? Would you like Sarah to pull a card or work with you on not just clearing whatever is in the way, but what is it you want to bring into your life? What is that thing that you want to bring in so you can feel more love for yourself and love for others? And in order to do that, sometimes we got to get some energy moving, don't we, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. We were talking about this earlier today before we came on. Let's talk about love for you. Listen, a large part of our lives, many of us don't even look in the mirror. We don't want to look in the mirror. We don't want to see who's looking back at us. We don't want to see, the harsh reality of what we believe. And that is not lovable. That's not caring. That's not gentle. We can be awfully hard on ourselves. I would love for you to talk about what you've learned about the love for you.
Absolutely. It's funny. I had a minor insight a couple, well, I guess it's probably not as minor as I'm describing it, but I had an insight a couple weeks ago. Just in my own life, I was seeing a lot of upset and a lot of communication issues between me and my partner, between me and my husband, and just some stuff that, it kept circling over and over and kept coming up, and arguments that kept coming up, and, the same bickering over and over. And one day I was really trying to kind of get to the bottom of it. And, sometimes the harder we think about something, the more of a mess we tend to make, right? But something in me clicked, and I realized that what I wanted from my husband was for a better communication, a better dialogue with him, feeling more compassion between the two of us, and just being able to communicate and have that relationship. And I realized that I didn't feel like I was overly lovable, that I was being really hard on myself. And in turn, how hard I was on myself and how I viewed myself was kind of radiating out. And then I was expecting him to come right back to me and love me, even though I didn't love me. And it was just a quick insight. It certainly wasn't as dragged out as I just described it, but it was something that just kind of came to me, and I realized, oh my goodness, how can I have this person in my life see me if I don't see me that way? If I'm being rough on myself, if I'm, beating myself up, if I'm drumming on what's not working for me, how can this other person, fill that void for me? And the answer is he couldn't. And he was responding to my own response to myself, if that makes sense.
It does. It does, because a large part of the time we get stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
It's like you ever like watch a video, go to a website, and you see a video, and it keeps going around and around. It's kind of like this loop.
Yep.
And you don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. Most of the time, it's done really well. But it's this loop. It's the same image being brought back over and over and over and over again until we accept it as normal. And I think what you're talking about is we enter the state, which isn't normal. And that is to look at ourselves as something less than amazing.
Yeah.
And yet it loops over and over and over again to the point where we actually see ourselves not in such a great light. And we think that's normal, but it's not.
It's not. No, we have these images of ourselves that they're really ragged and really rough, and a lot of people are just so hard on themselves. And I think at the core of everything that we struggle with as a society is that we are all like dying for love, and the love that we want isn't the love that we're going to get from a partner or a parent or a sibling or any relationship outside of us. The love that we want is an internal love that we cut ourselves off from. And we hold ourselves back, and we hold ourselves accountable for, all the things that are gone wrong, and tell ourselves that we're flawed and we're not perfect. And it's just not true. So.
Well, and today we're going to talk about how we can look at what we do in the world and get the help of things like tarot cards and so forth. I want to ask you a question. I mean, you've been working with people. I would love to know what you're seeing show up in others and what you've been able to do to help them.
Well, it's interesting. Like I said just a minute ago, my own experience was just a minor shift. It was literally just an insight that came to me that, a quick little piece of thinking. And what happens a lot of the time with my clients is that they'll bring something to the table, and whenever I coach someone, I always tell them, there's a lot of things that will bring people to a new relationship with a coach. They want a better career, they want a better relationship, or they want, to get ahead with their finances or something like that. And that's great. But I always say, it changes. 1 week you might be working on your relationship. The next week you might be working on, your career or something that's unfulfilling with work or whatever. And it changes all the time because we are constantly changing. And what I see is people are coming to these coaching sessions and they are discussing everything. Everything kind of comes out into the open, and it's like a transformation process. So they'll bring their, quote, problem to the table, and we look at it not as if it's a problem. We look at it as a platform, and what people are having is the same thing that happened with me. It's just a change in how they're looking at this situation. They don't see themselves as a victim anymore. They actually see potential. They get excited because they're like, oh, I've been looking at this the wrong way, or I'm seeing opportunity where I didn't see opportunity before. And nothing has changed. The only change is the mindset. And that's what my clients are coming away from their coaching sessions with. And it's, not holding anybody's hand. It's just the conversation revolves around a change in thinking and a change in perception, and just all these great outcomes that will start to reveal themselves after a good coaching session. So
yeah, and we're going to talk about that and much more today. Right now, 1-800-930-2819. And let's talk a little bit. When folks call in, we want to make sure we get your questions ready. And we'll talk about, what it is, what is the insight that Sarah's going to share with all of you. Sarah, before we go to break, what is the best way for people to find out more about you?
Absolutely. So if you guys just, go on the internet, you're going to find me at naturalpeaceliving.com. Again, it's naturalpeaceliving.com. And all of my contact information is up there on my webpage. I'm pretty adamant about blogging every couple of days and different articles coming out and stuff like that with, just insight based on my experiences in my normal life. And then I'm also on Instagram under Natural Peace Living, and same thing on Facebook as Natural Peace Living. So you guys can get me on any of those outlets.
Awesome. Let's take a short break, Mr. Benny. For those of you out there, you're listening to us on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat. If you want to find out more about us, really easy. You can go to the transformationnetwork.com. It's a lot of really cool information there. A couple of videos, which I found fascinating. The history of how we became who we are. Man, I was watching that. That's a bunch of years. And when we come back, Sarah's going to get her cards all warmed up and ready to go, because we're going to be pulling some cards for a universal message of what it means to love others. Love others. And we're taking your calls, 1-800-930-2819, 1-800-930-2819. Give us a call, and Sarah's going to do a live on-air reading for you. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Are you looking for the perfect setting for your next workshop or retreat? At Spirit Fire Meditative Retreat Center, cultivating consciousness is what we do best. Our guests count on us to create an atmosphere that supports serenity and well-being. We lead from the heart and create space for the mind. Freshly prepared meals designed with local and organic ingredients, 95 acres of beautiful woods and pastures, and a facility built with green in mind. This is what you'll find at Spirit Fire. For more information, visit spiritfireretreatcenter.com.
Do you ever feel as if you're working twice as hard but only getting half as far? Are you trying to connect with your path in life and finding it elusive? Mainstream Metaphysics Radio is a weekly call-in show where we harness our connection with the universe and use what is in our power to affect change for optimal success and happiness. This hit show bridges the divide between what is and what we do not know. Eve, named one of the country's top psychics, also known as the MBA psychic, invites you on this journey for this live call-in show with readings, featured guests, leaders, and visionaries in both business and spiritual callings. So join Eve Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com as she takes metaphysics mainstream. For more information about Eve, visit EliteTarot.com. That's EliteTarot.com.
Best-selling author, spiritual life, and business coach Joe Nunziata brings his higher energy and no-nonsense style to people who are ready to make powerful changes now. Wake up, step up, power up with a shot of Joe. Join Joe the second and fourth Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for 30 minutes of high energy, no nonsense, and powerful tools to make powerful changes. Visit joenuns.com. That's JOENUNZ.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's so great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. Yep. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Whatever team you were like rooting for. Yep. I guess the way my friend put it to me, you're either crying or shouting from the rooftops, depending upon what direction you went right there. But I got to say, what do you think the winners of the real game were? The winners of the game had to be the New York Giants. Yes, for their fabulous, fabulous ad that I will never, ever get out of my mind. Why? Because it showed the love. It really did show the love. That's what we're talking about today. Showing the love. And yet, for those of you out there that are non-believers and you're trying to figure out, did Manning actually do that lift? Yeah. Go ahead. Just go say he didn't. Welcome, everybody. Today's show is Natural Peace Radio. Sarah van Rijsewijk joining me here today. Before we jump in, and we're going to pull a couple of cards. And as I said before, if you want to join in, you want to get some info for you out there today and how to really attract more love, be more love, and be of the love. 1-800-930-2819. Sarah, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you and find out more about you?
Sure. So my suggestion first and foremost is if you guys just head over to my webpage, it's naturalpeaceliving.com. Again, naturalpeaceliving.com, and all of my contact information, email, phone numbers, all that great stuff is right on the webpage, as well as links to Instagram and Facebook. And I'm on both of those platforms under Natural Peace Living. And you guys can get in touch with me anytime. I do free consultations. I do coaching and tarot advice, tarot guidance on Skype and in person if you're local in the upstate New York area. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We're talking about love today. And one of the things we were talking about is first of all, we talked about ourselves. And now we're talking about love for others. And I think it's a big conversation when we talk about love for others, because there's the love for others, of course. Many of you will know if you go to the movies and you watch 50 Shades of Grey. That's what some people could be looking at for that. Yeah. Then there's the love for others that we know and we feel for the people that are so special to us in our lives, like dear, dear friends, right? I've had a friend, really a real friend, just absolutely been by my side, good, bad, ugly, all of that in my life since 1973. Then we get the other ones, and that is those folks that we love, want to be with the rest of our lives, think they're going to be our mates, think they're going to be with us, think they're going to be through thick and thin. Right now during this segment, we're going to be talking about, the people who are the hardest to love, and are they the ones that need it most? But more importantly, there's an energy about this now out in the world. I'd love for us to play a little bit and just get a sense of what the cards might say from a universal perspective. And then people could also see how you work with tarot. Let's do that. What do you think?
All right. I think that sounds like a great idea.
Awesome.
If you're open to it, I have my cards are all ready for me. They've been sitting here patiently since we started the segment. So if you guys are open to it, what we'll do is we'll pull one card at random just to kind of give us a theme to kind of wrap up what we're talking about here as far as loving ourselves, loving each other, and whatever it is that's most important for us to know. So I've got these guys going. I'm going to pull right off the top, actually. So, okay. So, it's funny because what we were talking about just before you started is, we have all these great relationships in our lives, and we have people, some of them are so easy to love. Like we talk about, little children are usually pretty easy to love, and our, newborns and babies and all those people who are there for us, our best friends, things like that. And then we have the people who are a little bit harder to love. And the card that we pulled kind of ties into what I want to speak about the difficult relationships, the people who are harder to love. The card that we have is the Seven of Wands reversed. So whenever I see this card, to me, it talks about overcoming setbacks and overcoming obstacles. Your wand suit is all about passion and love and all of those things that give us that fire in our belly that just, inspire us. And when we see the Seven of Wands, it says that there's this potential for things to kind of be up in our face, for us to feel like we're pulled in multiple different directions. And normally the card says that we are getting through it, that we are overcoming the obstacles, if you will, that we are getting through everything kind of one step at a time, or one day at a time, or 1 hour at a time. But the card, how we pulled it out of the deck in relationship to the question that we asked, and what we're talking about with our loving relationships here, is reversed. And when it comes up reversed, it's saying that sometimes we get bogged down and we get kind of pulled into the nonsense, pulled into the mess, if you will. And what's important to remember is that we can do a lot when we just focus on doing a little, if that makes sense. We don't need to be so focused on, loving so many different people, or having all of these relationships, or trying to save the world, or anything like that. I always tell people, if you have people in your life that are easy to love, that then you go and you love them, or you remember what it is that you love about this person, and then you start to vibrate at that level, and you start to have more love to give out. You don't have to go look at the people who are overly difficult and be like, oh, how am I going to find something to love about this person when they're constantly annoying me, or when they're fighting with me, or they're arguing with me, because you're paddling upstream, and it's just so difficult sometimes to find something that is easy to love about somebody who may not be overly easy to love. So with the card, again, it's our Seven of Wands reversed. Yeah. And we're really talking about being in this place where we don't want to get so bogged down in all of the nitty gritty and get so distracted by all of these obstacles. We want to remember that we can do a lot of good by taking those baby steps and looking at the things in our life that are easy to love, and looking at the people in our life that are easy to love, and really amping that up, and knowing that once we are hanging around in that emotion and hanging around in that vibration, that we put that out and we become more attractive to love. We are more attractive to other people. We're more attractive to ourselves. Does that make sense to you, Pat? Does that resonate?
It does make sense to me. And what's more important is that, there are things that I think each and every one of us want to attract in the world. I don't know that we wake up and we stand up and we declare in the moment, although I will tell you that I have a friend that I've known for a while now who believes in doing that, who believes in getting up, getting out of bed before anything else is done, entering into a spiritual practice where she declares that thing that she wants for that day and never knows what it's going to be. doesn't know. Is the declaration today to find somebody that's going to do her dishes for her?
Yeah, setting an intention for that. Right?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be a declaration that's going to help her go through her day with ease and with love? I want to talk to you about this one thing, though. Sometimes we think that we judge something, or we judge a person, and we're unkind to them because we're so wounded ourselves.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about that. How do you see love or not love? How do you see it? Do you see it as a choice? What do you see when you're working with people?
Yeah, I definitely see it as a choice. I see it, it's really easy to feel like the choice is already made for you sometimes, isn't it? Like you walk in and you see somebody who's having a tantrum or who's being unkind to the guy at the grocery store or something like that. And it's really easy to just react to that. I mean, that's what, we talk so much about mindfulness and how we respond to each other. And it's really easy for anybody to just, to see somebody acting rude or acting inappropriate and to immediately judge that as a bad person. But it takes a certain kind of person to look at that person and realize that person is somehow struggling, that they are somehow wounded, possibly, that maybe they had an unkind parent, or maybe they had a really rough childhood, or maybe they had something like that. And this doesn't mean that, that their behavior is just swept under the rug and that it's okay to treat people like that. But it takes some compassion. And I think that's something that we have a choice to offer. You can look at the people who are really rough around the edges. You can look at the people who are constantly yelling at others or complaining, or the people who are difficult to love. And you have a choice whether you give them compassion, whether you look at them and say, I wonder what happened to this person for them to be like that, and maybe walk a little bit in their shoes and understand that those are the people who need it the most. Mm-hmm. The people who are consciously making these choices to walk around lovingly are usually pretty happy people. They have a vibe to them. They glow. They're smiling. They're doing this stuff because it feels good for them to feel good and to offer love like that. And it's, again, like I said, it is a choice to give compassion to people, or to respond that way, to react to other people, without knowing where they came from or how they got to be the way they are. But it just takes one person, you know. You can change a lot that way.
Yeah, it does. And, it always goes back to getting clear and identifying what is it that might be going on within us? What is it that thing that doesn't necessarily pop up? It's not like, oh my gosh, I wake up today and I'm just not happy. It may be something that's more of a simmer. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, how does love for yourself, love for others, help us understand what it means to love the world around us? Let's take a short break, everyone. We will be right back, and we're going to talk about what a love list. We're ready, 1-800-930-2819, ready to pull a card for you or answer a question. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Curious about the meaning of life? Do you want to deepen your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. The school also organizes group meditations each year to benefit humanity. Whether you're just beginning to reflect on the spiritual side of your life or are a more experienced spiritual seeker, the school warmly welcomes you to join our group. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit esotericstudies.net. That's esotericstudies.net.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Amber Teal, founder of The Healthy Edge, is bringing you the hit show Healthy Edge Radio, living with power, passion, and purpose. Amber provides the support and tools necessary for you to finally release the weight and emotions that are hidden beneath the weight. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information on how you can take the next step with Amber, visit getthehealthyedge.com.
Welcome back. It's so great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. For those of you out there, I want to make sure that you have information about Sarah. Natural Peace Radio is what we're featuring today. We're talking about the choice to love. What does that mean? How do we do that? And how do we bring that energy in the world? Sarah, before we kind of dig in a little bit deeper now and talk about what does it mean to have and share love for the world around us, you're going to share some tools and tips. What's the best way for people to find out more about you and to find out more about scheduling time with you?
Sure. So if you guys just go to naturalpeaceliving.com, that's naturalpeaceliving.com. That's my webpage, and you guys can get in touch with me multiple different ways on there, through email or phone. And then I'm on social media on Instagram and on Facebook under Natural Peace Living. And, I offer all sorts of different options. People can do Skype coaching or one-on-one coaching in upstate New York. I have different tarot packages and all sorts of great stuff available for my clients. Guidance, lots of different insight and ways to go about working together. So
awesome. And, part of this is, in the realm of helping people, get unstuck, but also, break through some of the patterns, get some insight on some of the things that maybe kind of get in the way of living the best life they can. Okay. So one of the things, too, that I know that people get involved with a lot is what goes on in the outside world. I mean, we're kind of joking about the Super Bowl a little bit and, people that watched it, and I was talking about the commercials, but we also plug in to the world around us. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we find it hard to be in that place of love. We go through ranges of emotions about things that are going on in the world. And yet sometimes it's so hard to stay in the energy of love, especially when we're in the face of what's not love. So I would love for you to talk about what you do to help people and how do you work with your clients?
Yeah, well, it's funny. This morning, you talk about the Super Bowl. My husband was reading something this morning on, I don't know, social media or something like that, and telling me about all of the rioting in Philly and all of this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? And now more than ever, we are all just so engulfed in media and news and all of this stuff. So it takes a really strong person to consciously decide what they're going to look at and what they're not going to look at. Ignorance is bliss to a degree. And if people are really, if you really want to live that life, and if you want to be mindful of what you're putting in, you have to be mindful of, the media that you're taking in and how you're responding to it, and the sort of energy that comes with all of what society has kind of put out there for us to pick and choose. So I work with people all across the board, but I think that a lot of what we see is just, it's like I said, it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make. If you want to meet people with love and meet people with kindness, then that's something that you can do no matter what kind of person you are, no matter where you are. You can, give it to the barista at Starbucks or wherever. You can give it to your family, but you also have to be very conscious of how you're doing it, how you're giving it back to yourself as well. And that's something I work with clients on across the board, because at the heart of everything is the relationship we have with ourselves. You can't be vicious and cruel to yourself and then expect to be kind and gentle and loving to the world around you. You're going to give what you have for yourself out to the world. So starting by working with your own expression of self-love and compassion for yourself, and compassion for how your mind works, compassion for how you feel about other people, and the kind of person you want to be is what you're going to eventually put out to the world. So we work a lot on that sort of stuff with different, coaching and even with tarot guidance as well. So.
Yeah. And, part of this is so that, as you said earlier, we have to smooth out the energy somehow.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do it unless we're really looking at keeping ourselves centered, keeping ourselves focused, and getting some insight. Sometimes, there are tools, especially tools that you have and tools that you use, that help us understand more than not how to resurrect whatever those shades of love we may have within us. How do we bring them to the forefront? And I know that you've done this work with many, many of your clients, and as well with your own life, your family, just like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think what we choose is a choice. I don't mean that we shouldn't be looking at what's going on in the world and understanding where we stand about it. I just think that there's a point that we get past when it gets personal that is a little bit, if not a whole lot, completely out of balance.
Yeah, definitely. Well, some of the tools I know, one of the things that worked for me, and the tools that I suggest to my clients are tried and true because they're tools that I've used for myself. And one of the things that worked for me several years ago when I was working in a corporate job, I did what I called a love list. And what I would do is I would go into my job every day and diligently do my work. I was doing data entry and things like that. And I sat in front of a computer all day. And one day I decided that I was going to open up a Microsoft Word document and just start writing out a couple of things that I loved. And some of the things that made the list might seem silly to a lot of people, but they gathered momentum. A lot of our listeners know about law of attraction and know about those principles and the momentum that comes with our thinking. And for me, I would sit down and I would, while doing my work, would just go to my sheet for 20 seconds and add things to my sheet that I loved. Good coffee, chocolate, the smell of pine needles, Christmas presents or Christmas music or what. You start to see these patterns coming up because of the momentum that comes. And the reason that I did this was because it felt good, because it activated love within me. You know, listeners might be confused. A lot of people get confused. Yeah. It's not so much that we're looking to, you know, look at a specific person and feel all of this love and direct that love towards said person. We're just looking to activate love within ourselves. And you can do that so many different ways. When you create a love list and you start writing out the things that just bring you joy, that make you happy, that make you smile when you think about them, you're activating that love. That's what the whole slogan for Natural Peace is emotionally activated. And that's where things start to manifest in our life. When you activate that love, when you activate those things that bring you joy. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a cup of coffee or if it's a relationship or if it's a photograph or if it's the smell of your favorite candle. What matters is the emotion that's triggered when you think about that and when you think a loving thought. Yeah. That was one of my favorite tools, and that's still something I go to all the time for myself. I work with second graders now, and the same thing. I start asking them, you know, what do you like? What makes you happy? You know, one of them was really upset the other day, and I sat with him for a few minutes, and I said, well, what makes you happy? And he, nothing. And I was like, no, really, what makes you happy? And then he started to remember things, and it was the same thing that, you know, you start to activate love that way.
And I think that one of the things that really helps with this is how easy it is to tap into that visualization energy. You know, how easy it is for us to be able to do that. And so I know you work with people, as I do, and they talk about how difficulty it is to tap into it. And I think what I've discovered for myself is exactly what you just said. You know, sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes you just want to stay in whatever that place of, I don't really want to feel the love for anybody right now. I don't, you know, just feeling the love for people is not really where I want to go today. You know, I watch the news, I watch this, I watch that, off I go, here I went. And, you know, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not thinking about whether or not I want to love somebody. I just want to be in my stuff. So just let me be in my stuff if you don't mind. That's different. That's us making a conscious choice to hang on to whatever we want to hang on to, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. And we all do it. I'm guilty of that too. You know, nobody's perfect.
I know. Well, you know, today we talked about several things when it comes to love. And I want to recap for a minute because you're going to pull several cards and really talk to this. You know, one is love for you, love for ourselves. What do we see? What do we look in the mirror? And how do we look at that through the eyes of Tarot and the messages there? Then the second is really love for others. What is it that we look at when we think about ourselves, when we think about other people in the world? And then what is it when we think about love for the world around us? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Sarah's going to give us some amazing insight for how we put all of these together. What is the universal message that she's going to leave us with today? Yeah, a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Defining success and putting minds to work. With the Higher Learners Career and Leadership Series, Rudy Racine will help you craft your personal definition of success, offering support and guidance as you move forward towards your goals. Take the leap. With the right mix of focus and motivation, anything can be achieved. Tune in every first and third Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 Eastern, and for more information on Rudy Racine and Higher Learners, visit Rudy's site at higherlearners.com. That's HIRE learners.com.
The Truth is Funny. Shift Happens with Colette Marie Steffen is excited to welcome Karen Benton as a monthly guest host. Tune in on the third Wednesday of each month at 8 a.m. Pacific Time to regain confidence and trust in your capacity to create change in your life, your health, your family, and your well-being. Karen Benton is a mother, nurse practitioner, certified body talk practitioner, Franklin Method instructor, and owner of Limitless Living LLC. For more information about Karen, visit KarenBenton.com.
To find answers to life's questions, you need to look within yourself. Dr. Glenna Rice brings your questionable conversations on Transformation Talk Radio each month. Tune in each month for insight into how you can live up to your full potential. Dr. Glenna is a physical therapist, certified Access Consciousness, and Access Body Class facilitator. How does it get any better than this? For more information on Dr. Glenna Rice and her work, visit glennarice.com.
Are you ready to make deep, lasting, transformative changes? Then tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio for Susanna Jameson's hit show, Love, Light, Sound Radio. During her show, Susanna inspires and supports spiritually and health-conscious individuals all over the world to reconnect with their hearts, their inner peace, and balance. Love, Light, Sound Radio. Transformation happens here now. For more information, visit SusannaJameson.com.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Huff, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Who's ready to shine in 2018? Hi, I'm Wendy Rose Williams, certified spiritual teacher, past life regressionist, Reiki master, author, and radio host. Want to bring your unique message on air with me as part of the Transformation Talk Radio Network and Soul Wisdom Radio platform? Call 425-502-0362 or visit wendyrosewilliams.com to learn how you can expand your reach by sponsoring or advertising with Soul Wisdom Radio.
Yeah, everybody, welcome back. It's so great to be talking with Sarah. Sarah joining me here today, Sarah van Rijsewijk. And Natural Peace Radio is the show that she gets to do, having so much fun. Today we're talking about the choice to love. This segment here and the time we have left is to see what the cards are going to reveal. And we really touched upon three different aspects of this. The love we have for ourselves, the love we have for others, and the love we have for the world around us. And, so the question really is today, how do we use Tarot to zoom in on integrating all of the above? So I want to turn it over to you and let's see what shows up.
All right. Well, so usually I do a past, current, future spread. That's my go-to 3-card spread. So we're going to kind of play with that a little bit. And instead of doing past, current, future, we're going to do self-love, other people, like loving other people, and then our worldly love and what we have to give. So if you guys just bear with me here, I'm so bad at shuffling my tarot cards. You'd think that it would just be natural to me, but this is one of those things that
it's all energy.
Yeah, it is all energy. It's all good. And I don't believe in coincidence, especially with these guys. They always reveal themselves the way they need to. But so, like I said, we're going to do a 3-card spread. We're going to do our self-love, which I just pulled. Now we're going to do the love we have for others and how we put that out. And then our last card is going to be the love that we have for the world and how we put that love out to everybody that we surround ourselves with and to our experience. So, all right. Oh, this is awesome. So we've got 3 cards here, guys. So what we're going to talk about, our first card that we have is our self-love. So the card that we have for this self-love umbrella is the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands is talking about a decision. It says that I love this card because it has a gentleman holding the planet, holding the globe in his hand. And then in his other hand, he has the wands, basically saying that he knows that he has a decision he has to make, and he can't really get the decision wrong, but it's up to him to decide which way he wants to go. So what we talked about earlier in the segment is that it's a choice. Love is always a choice, whether we decide to withhold love from ourselves or whether we decide to be kind to ourselves and treat ourselves with compassion. That's a choice. And with the Two of Wands here, it's really kind of saying that we have a choice to make, and ultimately that choice is what's going to impact the planet. It's going to impact the people around us and impact our experience, dependent on what we do with this choice, knowing also that we cannot get it wrong. So just, look at how you see yourself, look at your experience with yourself, look at the love that you have for yourself, and know that this is part of who you are. And it's also a decision that you have to make at some point. It's not, it's not optional. We all have to decide whether we're going to be kind to ourselves or we're not. With the card being upright, it's really got an optimistic feeling to it, because it's saying that we understand that, and that we are making that choice to love ourselves and turn that love inward, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that hits for a lot of the listeners out there, if not all of you guys. So, then what's that?
Yeah, I think what it does is it helps us, if you haven't made the decision yet, it helps people get closer to that place to understanding some of the dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And it's cool because the Two of Wands is all about choice. And that's really, the theme for the show is the choice to love. And it's our decision to make. And with that card coming up like that, it's really saying that we're going to make that decision eventually. And we can really use that to our benefit, and also use that to benefit our experience and benefit the world around us. The next card that we're going to talk about is the love that we have for others. And what came up is really interesting. I actually wrote an article about this card earlier this month, or last month in January. The card that we have is the Strength card reversed. So I know this card pretty well because I've seen it a lot over the past several weeks. The Strength card is all about our emotional strength, our mental strength, the strength that we have in our mind. I wish you guys could see this card, but this is one of the most empowering cards in the deck, if you ask me. The Strength card is a major arcana card, which means that it's a life lesson. And when these cards come in, when the major arcanas come in, it means that they have something bigger that they're trying to teach us. And with the Strength card, it's basically saying that our strength is our strength from our thinking. If we think strong thoughts, if we have strength in our heart, if we have strength coming from our actions and coming from our wisdom and coming from our spirit, our soul, that sort of strength will radiate out and create it will give us the strength to move forward. It will give us the strength to influence the world. And that's where our power comes from. So we're looking at this card in regards to the love that we have for others. Now, the card was pulled reversed. And what this is saying is that it's not that we aren't strong. It's that sometimes we feel weak, or we're seeing where we're coming up short, or we're seeing where our weakness lies. And, this is heavy because it feels like it's saying that when it comes to loving others, when it comes to loving the difficult relationships, or giving love to some of the difficult relationships, that we feel weak, that we're not sure how to apply our strength. And to that, I would say, as a remedy, that we need to look back at our self-love card and remember that when we have love for ourselves, when we choose to love the people around us who are easy to love, when we choose to think strong and to really amplify the strength, then we have an easier time giving that out to the other people around us, and to giving that out to the people who are struggling with love.
Yeah. And all of this is part of creating a support system that you so work with amazingly to help people, because without this sense of love, we just really don't turn much else on in our lives, do we?
No, not at all.
Mm.
We numb ourselves if we're not functioning from that place.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Sarah, thank you so much for today. Would you please let folks know how they can find out more about you and how they can work with you directly?
Absolutely. So if you guys are interested in a reading, or if you're interested in coaching or anything like that, I would suggest going to naturalpeaceliving.com. Again, naturalpeaceliving.com, and you can get in touch with me on there. All my blogs are on there, coaching options, packages, tarot guidance, all that sort of great stuff. And it's, anywhere you guys are. Skype sessions are available, and in-person sessions are also available. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook under Natural Peace Living. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful to everybody.
Awesome. Well, for those of you out there, it is the time really that we ease into this idea that we are absolutely so much more. And if you don't want to ease into the idea of that, then jump right to it. Thanks to Sarah and others. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning us in. If you missed any part of this, just go to Transformation Talk Radio. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Natural Peace Radio, emotionally activated, magically created. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Sarah van Rijsewijk helps listeners manifest their desires and create an awesome life, powerfully and gracefully. For more information on Sarah and her work, or to listen to past shows, visit her website at naturalpeaceliving.com.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.